Live. I think we are live now. I just wait for the video feed. Sure if my audio is clear. Yeah. Okay, so as you can remember, the chat will currently mag-meet by this 1 p.m. but I changed my mind. I will just gonna leave here domain course 3. And for the topic is we are gonna be making our first ever Android application, or should I say. But anyway, so I believe you already have downloaded and set up your Android Studio local machines. So after that, we are now ready to create our very first Android application. And to do that, upon opening your Android Studio, this is the window that you're seeing. Wait, file. I should wait for this to. Yeah, it's okay. Let's wait a little bit. Just test if we are good to proceed. I think we're good. So we are going to be hitting this new project button right here, and it's going to give us a couple of options to choose from. So by default, we are going to be choosing this empty activity. We are not going to be handling some other stuff right here because these are advanced stuffs, and we are going to try to cover all this stuff on our lesson in the future. So for now, I'm just going to hit this empty activity, and I'm going to hit next, and it's going to prompt you upon the important details that you have to fill up before proceeding to our first application. So I'm just going to name my first project first Android app. Now it's important that you don't put spaces right around here because you would encounter errors in the future if you put some. Okay, so we have package name. This you could just put in a couple of packages right around here by default, and I chose this particular package since this is my preference. Then the location of your project, mine is I put it on a custom location, but by default this is not the location that Android has set it up for you. You can choose your custom location for it as long as it's accessible. If you're using Linux, make sure that the restrictions on that folder is public. Now on the language, we are going to be using Java. There are two options right here, the Kotlin and Java. Now Kotlin is good, but I'm used to Java because of the security and the integration stuff that we are going to be tackling in the future. So might as well use Java, and I believe you already have experience coding Java as well, previous subjects. So yeah, and then the minimum SDK. This means that the minimum Android operating system that your project could. There are a couple of options right here, and if we scroll up, there you can see the previous versions of Android. So preference, I'm just gonna hit this 5.0, which is a lollipop, and then hit finish. And Android is going to set all the things done for you. It's going to download a couple of dependencies right here. As you can see, mine is downloading the Gradle. This would take a while to finish, depending on your connection. Mine, I'm just lucky enough that I have faster connection these days. So let's just wait for it to finish, and then it's gonna start syncing your project. Okay, so let's just wait a little bit for it. Sorry, just tired. Now it's downloading a couple of dependencies as well, especially the ones that are important. That's why we're downloading important stuff. But anyway, let's just wait for it to finish downloading. Like I said, it could take a while, depends on your internet connection, so might as well be patient. Um, but uh, whenever you close and reopen your Android Studio again, it's not going to be re-downloading this stuff because it's already been stored in folder. The download only happens the first time you create an app. Plus, we could also switch to an offline option on the Gradle. If we hit the Gradle option right here, there's an option called offline mode, in which you could cache all the downloaded assets and use it in future, assuming you are not going to add some other dependencies that you're going to use in your Android application. Okay, let's just wait for it to build. This might be really confusing to you because this is an entirely new IDE or GUI. Uh, you can't run some other applications, desktop applications in Android Studio because Android Studio is, as you can see in its name, its nature is built for Android applications. Okay, let's wait for it to finish syncing. It's gonna take a while. Check if we're still live. Still live. It take a while. Also, this depends on your machine as well because uh, the minimum requirement of Android Studio should be 8 gigabytes of RAM and at least I think 1.6 gigahertz because this caches a lot of data because it's trying to emulate um, the environment of Android devices. Unlike in building web applications or mobile and desktop applications, it's already been the dependencies are already been installed in browser or in um, Steam. So this basically is virtualizing the environment of Android. So that's why it's taking too long to build. Now that it's done, alright, so it's done and you have your first application now. If you try to look at the the left portion of your screen right here, we have two main categories right here. Now these aren't the folders. These are just the categories the Android Studio has been setting up for the easier of use among its developers. Okay, so we have the Gradle scripts and the app. So the app is where all your project files, including the assets, the images, and the XML files is being located. And this Gradle scripts is where the dependencies and all the important plugins of your Android application is being stored. So what is a Gradle? Gradle is an essential part of an Android application. The Gradle basically is the main configuration of your Android project. This dictates all the necessary information in which your Android application could run, including the dependencies, some other plugins, some other versionings, some other platform optimizations, and all the stuff that it's being helped with. But we are going to be tackling with Gradle more in the future. But for now, let's just leave it by default. And let's go back to the app. So we have the manifest. This is the manifest folder. This contains only one file, the Android manifest. The Android manifest basically tells your app. I mean, this is the index storage of your app, which means that all the necessary components of your app is being indexed here. This is mainly just the database of the contents of your app, right? So in here we can specify a couple more permissions. Like for example, if your app want to use Wi-Fi, you could just use the uses permission function, then type in Wi-Fi and access Wi-Fi stick. We are going to be meddling with this Android manifest XML in the future, but for now, let's just leave it default. Okay, next is Java, and that's right. These are all the Java files that you're gonna be generating in your project. By default, it's generating three. It's a three. It's just one class, but we have the Android test and the test. These two are just a dummy ones in case errors are being found in the Android app. These are just the recoveries. These two. Our main concern is our main package right here. So by default, Android Studio has created one particular class, the main activity.java. This is by default the main window of your Android application if you are trying to run this. So I'm gonna try to emulate it for my thing. Okay. Now, you can already run this project. Let me just enlarge my video so you can see what. And I share my entire phone. So, okay. So, uh, to run this Android Studio project, all you need to do is uh, hook your phone to your laptop, right here. You try to hook it in here, right? It's charging, but it's not our concern. So I can't share my screen literally, and to be able to fully run it, so what you are going to do is go to settings. No, terms of settings. It's gonna be hard to focus. Right, settings, and try to go to additional settings and to the about option of your uh, settings. Right, where's the about yeah, about phone. Okay, and try to find this not the Android version. Okay, so some other phones has this build version settings. Mine has MUI version. Let's see, MIUI version because I'm a Xiaomi user, and some other phones is indicating a build version right here. So na ibang phones na build version na nakaabot ng anak. If you try to click it like 11 times or 7 times, it's gonna activate a hidden function of Android here. Okay, okay. So if you click 11 times, yeah, na pop up sa ubos yeah, indicating yeah, that you have activated the developer options mode. So if we try to go back and see some other stuff on the settings, you can see nga na ano mo na-activate nga developer options right around here. By default, wala na siya because Android has been hiding that for some security purposes. Then you are going to click the developer options and enable it. Right, make sure you enable the developer options. And then if you try to scroll down, you can see a debugging option. That and on the USB debugging, make sure that that is turned on. So by default, it's closed. It's off by default. No. Then what you're going to do is click that, and then a danger is gonna pop up, and just hit OK. Right? And aware of the risk. Okay. So now on a new USB debugging. So and then some other pop-up is gonna come up. Just hit OK. Then next is if you try to go back to your Android Studio, see if we're still live. If you want to go back to your Android Studio, na may makita nga device on the top corner of your Android Studio. So mine is named Xiaomi whatsoever. So this indicates that you have successfully integrated your Android device into Android Studio. Now, if you want to hit play, run app, it's going to be building again. But this time, it's going to be generating an app to your mobile phone. Now, it's going to take a while on your first run because it's going to be compiling a lot of stuff in Android Studio, right? Let's wait for it to finish. Look, there's an error. This error is just a restriction error because there's makikita mo pop up on inyong device upon installing, and just click allow, then it's gonna install the app. So tara, now that I install the app, let me just enlarge my camera right here, and this is our first Android application. Now by default, the design already has a hello world text right there, and if I try to manipulate this, all I have to do is go to the res folder. The res folder is where your resources can be found, all the drawables, all the layout, all the images, and all the values and the themes and the colors of your Android application. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to the values and change my default colors. Alright, so by default, Android Studio has already implemented this colors right here, but I don't want those colors because those are boring. What I want to do is go to Google, search for material color palette. But the colors are really dynamic. You can specify the colors that you want. Mine, I wanted it to follow the material rule in Google. So first is I want my primary color to be uh, pink. Okay. Then my secondary color should, uh, let's say, blue. Okay, that could be weird, but anyway, that's what I want for now. What I want to do is copy these colors right here, paste it into my color palette right here. So this purple, I'm just gonna paste in, call it pink 500 because it's a pink 500 value right here. P light is the lighter one. So I'm gonna paste it here. Just gonna name it pink. I guess this is 200. Uh, Pink 200, and for my dark one is gonna be a 700. So this is pink 700. I'm gonna leave all the other colors right here by default. Just gonna be handling that later on. So after we specify the colors, if we go to the activity main.xml, by the way, this activity main.xml is where it is what dictates the sign of your main activity.java. So kani si main XML mo ay control sa design sa inyong Windows Android application. So I'm just gonna go here and click split so that I can see the code and I can see the design, the UI. And then after that, I'm gonna go back to the values folder, and here I can see two themes. The first theme is a day and the first is a night. If you have an Android versions 10 and up, where you can select on the themes whether you want it to be a darker theme or a lighter theme. This is the ones that dictating. So I'm just gonna open the day first, and since I changed the color, I'm gonna change it to pink 500. This is 500, and the purple is pink dark 70. Don't forget to change the settings on the themes because it's gonna give you an error feature. So as well as the night code, so pink 500 and pink 700. Okay. Now, by default, it's giving you a dark action bar, but I don't want that. I want a custom action bar. So I'm just gonna put in no action bar, and as well as on the themes, just gonna change it to no action bar because I wanna be able to control the action bar of my Android application. Okay, so let's go back to activity.main. Now, si activity.main, makita ninyo siya sa layout. Now, all the layouts of your Java applications is being stored here in the layout folder under the res, right? So take a note of that. And then by default, it's constraint layout. I'm just going to change it to coordinator layout. Now, these layouts are essential since these are the ones that dictates uh, the behavior of your project. So I'm just going to coordinate layout, closing, right? make sure all your layouts is being paused properly. And I'm just gonna delete this text view right here because we don't want that to be displayed as a text view. Now, um, so most of our Android applications has an up bar, but I want this to be different. All right. So we are going to be designing an entirely another Android application. So if we try to go to Google, search for Android app design templates. Okay, you can see a lot of templates right here, and we're going to be selecting one that we are going to be following on this particular class. So that natai timeline and natai destination. I'm just going to be meddling with these options right here. I think love the look of this one. Okay, and we are going to be making, like for the Laravel, we are going to be making an enrollment Android application sa atong Android app. We are going to be integrating this two sa atong Laravel in the future, hopefully. And so I think that's going to be it for today, because some of you might encounter some errors upon creating your first Android application. And don't hesitate to chat me if you ever encounter one upon implementing it to your local machines. So I guess that's the end of our session for the Android application. So if you have concerns, don't hesitate to chat me, and see you in the next lesson. Android app. We are going to be integrating this two sa atong Laravel in the future, hopefully. And so I think that's going to be it for today, because some of you might encounter some errors upon creating your first Android application. And don't hesitate to chat me if you ever encounter one upon implementing it to your local machines. So I guess that's the end of our session for the Android application. So if you have concerns, don't hesitate to chat me, and see you in the next lesson.